The folks over at ESPN predicted a massive splash for the New York Jets in free agency. Let's talk about it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you find your podcast. Two quick shout-outs right off the top. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're less than 30 people away from giving away a free piece of autographed New York Jets memorabilia. To be eligible for that giveaway, which is for free, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. As soon as we reach 7,500 subscribers, we'll stop the polls and we'll randomly pick one of those subscribers to receive this, and then I'll reach out to you to get your address information. We'll send it right over to you. Again, a free piece of autographed New York Jets memorabilia. Plus, we've got a giveaway this month where you have to throw out a few shekels. Here's our current Boy Green raffle leaderboard for Lily and Big D. Has 23 raffle tickets so far this month. Jimmy Jets at 20, Usher Jet Fans at 7, Big Fella at 6, Jake Asman and Travis Preheim tied for 5, and what they're competing for this fabulous set of prizes, baby. Let's show this up on the big board screen. We've got a New York Jets patched out pullover hoodie, a Super Bowl prize pack with multiple unique items from past Super Bowls, and a custom laser engraving Jets Boy Green package, which has Jets logos and Boy Green logos merged together on a variety of items, including but not limited to license plate, commemorative coin, pens, and so much more. All of that will be awarded to one lucky person on April 1st. I'm very much looking forward to it, baby. Welcome to the show, everybody. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. That's a free way to contribute to today's show. We have a full article in the YouTube description down below, and good Lord have mercy. So this was a fun exercise by ESPN. So, by the way, folks, let me make sure I get my days right. So we're 4 days away from the legal tampering period. That's on March 10th. And then March 12th, 6 days away, is NFL free agency at 4 o'clock. That's when the official new league year kicks off. So we're about to be getting a lot of news coming for the New York Jets, which is incredibly exciting. But ESPN ran a simulated free agency period. So they basically picked a handful of top free agents who are expected to get big deals in free agency. And the ESPN NFL Nation reporters like Rich Cimini for the Jets or whatever team for other places had an opportunity to make offers for these free agents, hypothetical contract offers. And then NFL insider Dan Graziano represented the player, got to pick which offer each player took. Long story short, Javon Holland, Miami Dolphins safety, came up as a possibility, and the Jets, through Rich Cimini, offered a 4-year deal for $80 million with $42 million of that guaranteed. The other offer on the table, which was blind, came from the Indianapolis Colts. It was a 4-year deal for $64 million with $30 million guaranteed, and ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano took the Jets deal, saying, quote, honestly, these offers weren't close. I really expected more teams to be interested, but if this is what I'm choosing between, it's not difficult. Jets are offering $4 million more per year and $12 million more in guarantees. Folks, there's, first off, let me just say this right off the top rope. You know, what's wrong with making a splash? There's absolutely nothing wrong with making a splash. And they talk about one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of all time in the movie Draft Day. You hear Sonny Weaver Jr. and the Browns owner, they're talking. And they're at a park. And the Browns owner turns to Sonny Weaver Jr. and says, fans like to get wet. They like a splash, Sonny. Are you going to give them a splash? And again, I don't like making a splash for the sake of making a splash, but if you're going to make a splash, you could do a lot worse than Javon Holland. Go through all the pieces of the puzzle here. Javon Holland just turned 25, so he's super young. Okay, I like that. He's at a position of need. Shoot, we need 2 safeties, maybe 3 safeties. I mean, the entire safety room has exploded. I mean, Chuck Clark, Isaiah Oliver, Tony Adams. I'll throw some corners in there. Brandon Eccles, DJ Reed. I mean, Ashton Davis. There's like Tony Adams. There's a million free agents at the Jets corner and safety positions. That's a position of need. I check there. And guess what? Javon Holland is one of the best players on the Dolphins, and you're stealing him from a rival. While you are getting better, simultaneously, you're making them worse. Juicy, baby. Very juicy. So if I'm going to make a splash, this would be a great place to do it, baby, is by stealing away Javon Holland from the Dolphins. Now, a lot of you may be saying in the comment section, Paul, good Lord, $80 million. That's a lot of moolah, buddy boy. And it is. That $20 million per year average that Javon Holland would receive in this scenario would make him the second highest paid safety in football, only behind Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive back Antoine Winfield Jr., who's making $21.02 million. So he'd be the second highest paid safety in football. Now, Holland's appeared in 60 games. He's made 57 starts since coming into the league. Every year of his career so far, he's played in 12-plus games. He's a former second-round pick, 36 overall. He's got some good stats, 5 picks, 5 forced fumbles, 5 sacks. I don't know what's up with all the 5s, but that's neither here nor there. 10 quarterback hits, 301 total tackles, and 1 pick 6. And Jet fans, I think we remember what that one was, don't we? Yeah, Tim Boyle. Let him boil, you bastard. That Hail Mary pick 6. So now we can get him on our side, old Javon Holland. So I don't know, man. I'd be for it. If you're going to be making a splash, I like going for this age group, right? You know, you go for these guys coming off their rookie deals. They're younger, again, 25. That's a great price to pay. And if he played out his full 4-year deal here with the Jets, he'd be 29. Okay, not too shabby. It'll allow him to potentially double dip in free agency and make some moves. So the Javon Holland splash intrigues me greatly. Sign me up. The other player I made a big case for a couple weeks ago is Nick Bolton, 24. Like, okay, these are the waters I'm trying to swim in if I'm going to make a splash as a new regime coming over, that's for sure. DNY for life, baby, a.k.a. Devin, gifting 5 Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Beautiful. That's 5 raffle tickets to our contest, Devin, which we truly appreciate, buddy. Yeah, baby. Damn straight. We'll put you on the board here. You're also tied with Travis Preheim and Jake Asman, excuse me. So beautiful. Love it. And that is, like I said, 5 raffle tickets for our contest at the end of the month. Let's read the 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club here, baby. Let's do it. Love it. And we can continue to take your questions and comments. Keep firing those off on YouTube, baby. And we can answer any and all of those questions. Here are the 5 new members, by the way, to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Andrew Calderon, Vibrate Higher, Jojo Townsell, Marvelous 33, Genergy. Welcome back, Genergy. All members of the Boy Green Coffee Club. And Jared B already dropped the Discord link in there that you guys have access to. So feel free to take full advantage of that as a perk of being a Boy Green Coffee Club member, baby. Beautiful. All right. Let's try to get some of your questions here. Yeah, that would be one. Yeah, we're talking about the difference between Justin Reed. Let me double check Justin Reed's age. He was another player that's been brought up here. Yeah, he's 28. He's 28. That's a 3-year gap. Now, people may go, oh, what's a 3-year gap? 3-year gap is massive, especially when you're talking about 25 to 28. Massive gap of difference in youth and age. So that's a biggie. That's what I would say, for sure. JD Surf City says, for a safety, I'm imagining in regards to the massive financial investments, the last Jets regime obviously didn't value safety position at all. Chuck Clark signed 1-year deals or was traded for a 7th-round pick. Tony Adams was an undrafted free agent. Ashton Davis was a leftover former 3rd-round pick. I mean, go through all the safeties after Jamal Adams, which predated that Joe Douglas era, obviously. They did not value it. I imagine it's going to be a lot different. If you look at the safeties with the Detroit Lions, they had these 2 safeties, also a nickel player too. Brian Branch was a 2nd-round draft choice, and Kirby Joseph was a 3rd-round draft choice. So they invested high premium picks at the safety position, and it paid off handsomely, for that matter. Yeah, I would love Javon Holland. William says, isn't that steep for a safety? Yeah, he'd be the 2nd highest paid safety in football. But again, if you're going to overpay in free agency, to me, I'm overpaying for a guy who's 25. I'm overpaying for a guy who's a position of need. And I'm overpaying for a guy that, again, hurts my rival. I'm hearing some noise on social media. I had DolphinsTalk.com, I think it was, the one who immediately responded to me, said, "You're not stealing him from a rival. You know, you can't find one Dolphins fan who wants him back." Well, Dolphins fans don't want him back because they're incredibly poor. They're crying poverty. They have negative 1.6 million in available cap space. So of course, the Dolphins couldn't even take him back if they wanted him back. They have negative 1.6 million in cap space. So they're down the line. With all the moves the Jets have made, we've surged near the top of the leaderboard. We got 51 million in cap space. So let me count that on over the cap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The Jets have the 9th most cap space in the NFL right now. They're a top 10 team in cap space, and there's more moves to be made. Alan Lazard, goodbye, and other moves of that nature. So yes, it is a steep price to pay. And spoiler alert, you have to overpay for players in free agency. That's the truth. When you want a guy, unless you're in the second or third waves of free agency and you get lucky, the Jets, for instance, got lucky on DJ Reed. It was still a sizable deal. It's 3 years, $33 million. 11 million per, but he was in that second, third wave of corners, and the Jets got lucky. They find the right guy, good on the pro personnel team to identify him as a possible player, bring him in, the fit, and everything worked out great. So the Jets benefited there, and that can help. But sometimes you get what you pay for, and you're paying for the top of the market. You get top of the market player, and that to me is intriguing. Ron Alexander's right. The cupboard is the cupboard is incredibly bare here, as Ron's comment here. All right, 1 second here. We have our commenter thing not working. Let me see if I can pull that back up. Gator McCluskey. 1 second, folks. I'm going to play a quick song here, and we'll see if I can fix this comment issue. So yeah, we'll play this old Hep song. We'll be right back. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Excuse me. Sorry about the issue there. I think this should fix it. I have no idea what Paul's doing. Let me see if this works. Matthias, we're back. So sorry about that. Sorry for the technical difficulties there for a moment. Couple of questions here. Gator McCluskey, by the way, is responsible for that beautiful intro. Would I swap round 1 picks of the Cardinals for Kyler Murray? They pick 16. Drop from 7 to 16. I don't think the Cardinals would do that, to be honest with you. They don't have an alternative option at quarterback. Would I do it? I'd strongly consider it because we need a quarterback. But yeah, I don't think they would do that. So I guess it's a moot point. But yeah, and I think it would cost more than a first-round pick swap. That's an interesting question, I guess. I've heard those whispers. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ifitu Melifonwu. Again, Syracuse alum. He plays corner and safety coming out of college. So, yeah. Hennessy says we need 3 new safeties. We sure do. That's for sure. J-Boy says Justin Simmons will be a Jet. I tried the Justin Simmons things last year. If he ends up coming over, great. But, we tried to bang that drum last year, and it resulted in a whole lot of nothing, unfortunately. By the way, so we did let me throw this up real quick. Alan talking about crazy money for Sherwood. Folks, the money keeps going up for Jamien Sherwood. So let's go through everything, right? So ESPN's Rich Cimini says in his reporting that Jamien Sherwood's going to get at least $8 million per year. And we're like, oh, okay, so that's the number. Okay, here we go. Grab the pen. $8 million per year. Got it. Then all of a sudden from Zach Rosenblatt, it could be somewhere between 8 and 10 million per year. I'm like, oh, okay. That's a little higher than I thought, but okay. All right. So at least 8. It could be 8 to 10. And then Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network, he dropped this article once a year before free agency and said, hey, let me give you a heads up on the players who are going to get paid more than you think, fans out in the universe. Guess what? Who one of the names was on his list? Jamien gosh darn Sherwood, man. And Sherwood could get at least $12 million per year. And I'm like, good Lord, where is this coming from? Benjamin Solak, ESPN NFL analyst, he said one of his favorite free agent bargains, but it's not a bargain if everyone's talking about it, is gosh darn Jamien Sherwood based on the All-22 tape. So, man, Jamien is going yodelay, yodelay, yodelay on that Price is Right game. He's doing a lot of that yodelay action. Jamien is about to get the bag, and now the question is for the Jets is this. Again, it's no guarantee because we've passed the franchise tag window and they weren't going to franchise tag Jamien. Do the Jets pay what is necessary right now so Sherwood doesn't get to test the market? Or do they allow him to test the market and see if they could get him back? Because like I said, in 4 days' time, people at noon, Jamien Sherwood and the rest of the Jets free agents are allowed to talk to the rest of the National Football League in the period we like to call legal tampering. And at that point, Sherwood could be lost because if he goes into the great abyss, he dives into the ocean and takes a swim, he may never be coming back, folks. He may never be coming back. Especially if there's that kind of scratch out there. Jamien's going to be like, thanks for the development, Jets. Deuces. See ya. And goes to the open market. So, unbelievable. Yeah. Jamien is about to get a bag and a half, and the number keeps going up based on new people we talk about. By the way, welcome everyone to the show. We got 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. We're live every single day at 7:30 in the morning. Shout out to members of the Boy Green Coffee Club like Donald Johnson, joining us here in the chat, and others. Appreciate you. Also, everybody else. As James Fowles says, hit the friggin' like button, baby. Please do. Yes. Yes, please do. Yeah, I would love that. Matthew Smith says Holland's a top 5 safety anyway. He should be getting that contract. So, yeah, so I guess we could question the overpaying. Ron Alexander says hard to knock Holland, but the money's going to be a lot. At present, the cupboard is bare, so you never know. It is damn straight bare. And the Jets are going to have to make some big boy decisions of who they want back and who they don't want back there in the secondary. But there's a lot of free agents that are going to be available. Dave Briga says, find a safety with Victor Green traits and it won't cost a fortune. Easier said than done, Dave Briga. Easier said than done. Yeah, give me a Victor Green for dirt cheap. Yeah. Like I said, easier said than done, I'm afraid. Let's see. Draft Geek says trade back 7-12 with the Cowboys. They want Genti. Yeah, I think there's two. I talked about this all week, but I'll keep banging the drum until new information comes available. The Jets want to trade back. There should be 2 teams interested, at least, hopefully. It takes 2 to tango. You never know what happens. The Cowboys want Ashton Genti, the Boise State running back. They sit at 12. The Colts have been all over tight ends the last 2 years. They haven't pulled the trigger on Brock Bowers or Tyler Warren, but they pick at like 14. A 14-7 drop. Could be interesting. Could be. We'll keep an eye on that, Draft Geek. Jojo Townsell says, I'm starting to warm up the Sanders if he falls to 7. Welcome. Here's the scouting report on Shedeur Sanders. He has no, let me try to think of a good example. Who's a guy that's just gifted? Like an Abdul Carter. That's sort of a weird comp, but like Abdul Carter was gifted with some traits from the high heavens, the burst, and all these other athletic traits. You're like, whoa, this guy was gifted by the gods. Shedeur, while gifted by the gods of being the son of a Hall of Famer, that certainly helps, and all the financial benefits that includes. He doesn't really have these elite traits. It's not like he's got a rocket launcher arm or this elite processing or this, that, or the other. He's a guy, I don't think I've described it on the show this way yet. He's maximized the talents that he has. He's an incredibly hard worker. And you can't be the son of Deion Sanders if you're not an incredibly hard worker. Like, Deion has drawn the line in the sand of what it means to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And look at this guy. people made fun of Deion Sanders when he got into coaching. And look at, like, his drive and everything that brought him to all these levels. So I think Shedeur is not this athletic freak that would have lit up the combine if he participated in anything or everything anyway. But he's a guy that has maximized who he is, can get the ball from point A to point B. Now, some of the sacks he took at Colorado were his fault. He held on to the ball too long. That's an issue. That has to get corrected. His offensive line also stunk. But I like the moxie. I like the swagger. He's got a lot of confidence in himself, and I think that can be infectious to his teammates. He's used to the spotlight. He's had cameras in his face since he was a kid. So for this market, and a lot of people that could get deer in headlights in this market, I think that certainly helps. Again, if he's there at 7 or 5 and you get the potential 7-5 swap, and that's not incredibly expensive to leapfrog the Raiders, I'm listening. Now, a lot of people are not on the Shedeur Sanders bandwagon, but just want to say. Gator McCluskey says, rumors of the Cardinals shopping Kyler to the Giants for their 3rd overall pick. Oh, boy. I'm curious if the Giants would do that. Kyler is, 27 or something? I don't know how old Kyler is. Shorter guys, you need a unique offense for him. You can't just plug in anywhere. That's got to be part of the equation, too. Matthew Smith says, Sherwood was a top 10 backer last year and only getting better. He was top 3 in tackles. He was top 3 in tackles last year. So, JoJo says the Jets need to sign Sherwood before free agency. Now, I think there's a number they could probably get to where Sherwood's like, all right, I won't test free agency. But it's probably going to be an expensive number. We have Coach Cross Fader says Sherwood didn't play in all the games because of CJ and still finished top 5 tackles. So, yeah, we losing him. Yeah, he did appear in all 17 games, but he only started in 16 of the 17. He was the 3rd linebacker as a sub-package 4-3 guy. So he did get on the field. But, yes, obviously with the CJ Mosley injury in week 2 against the Tennessee Titans, then he became this full-time starter replacing Mosley and did a wonderful job. Draft Geek, why pay Sherwood and just for the number 1 linebacker plus Nick? Wait. Why pay Sherwood and just for the number 1 linebacker Nick Bolton plus Quincy could be gone by next year? I'm a little confused by all the word salad here, but Nick Bolton is a free agent. Quincy is a free agent, not this year, but next year. So the whole linebacker room could look a lot different. There's a chance of that. A click of view says we want Bosa. Pay the man. Yeah, we will be talking about that at 3 o'clock today. We'll be back on the channel talking about all the, good Lord, Tyler Lockett, Bosa. I mean, there is a billion names that were just cut yesterday for us to consider for Jet free agent options. We'll be doing that at 3 o'clock. Boy Green meets Woody. Hope you guys are back for that. Yeah. NC Green, the cap went up $24 million. Players will get a tad more than they would have. That happens a lot where the current crop just get more money. So that's a part of the equation too. That's 100%. Alan says, I don't think Sherwood and Quincy will be Jets this season. I think there's definitely a chance. If they pay Sherwood, then Sherwood and Quincy are together. Although Quincy could be traded, I guess. Last year's deal. A lot to be figured out there. I think they're an exciting young duo. The Jets may go for the younger guy if they keep Sherwood. Sherwood's younger than Quincy, so they could, ride that. It could be. Oh, hey now, we got Jimmy Jets here with a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Let's bleepin' ride. You there, Jimmy. My gosh darn apologies, you handsome bastard.
That's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
That is 25 memberships for old Jimmy. You are now in first place. We'll update the banner. I'll take the banner down. We'll update that, in due time. We'll update that in due time. But let's read the 5 new members to the gosh darn Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. We appreciate it. Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate you. They're raining memberships from the high heavens. And, of course, that means more raffle tickets for you, my friend, for that wonderful prize pack. Terrific. Let's see. Can we get there? I think I waited too long, so sorry, whoever those new members were. You guys did get your memberships, but I was a little slow to the trigger, so I apologize. But hey now. Yeah, apparently Dave Briga knocked off Beast. Wow. There you go. Dave Briga, an OG, beating the new kids up. Love it. G Money says, I wouldn't pay Sherwood a penny over $8 million. There have been plenty of players who have had career seasons on bad teams. Okay, so he's letting them go. Sounds like he's getting far more than 8. Wowza. Josh Parker says, I live here in Pittsburgh. Things I'm hearing is Fields will re-sign with the Steelers. Maybe he will. That's certainly possible. The thing I would say is this, though, because there's been a lot of, okay, Justin Fields will have the choice of either potentially coming over to the Jets or staying in Pittsburgh. And what should he do? And I've heard a lot of people say, obviously he should stay in Pittsburgh. Is that obvious? Let's kind of walk through it here, right? So the Steelers trade with the Bears. They give up a half-eaten donut for Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears. All right, they take a chance on him. Okay, he ends up being the starter only because of injury. Russell Wilson gets hurt during the offseason. And Justin Fields looks pretty good. Starts the first 6 games of the season, 4-2. Steelers look fine. Guess what the Steelers did? They went, yeah, buddy, we're going to go to Russell Wilson, so sit your ass on the bench. And then they never went back to Justin Fields. And Russell Wilson certainly had a spark, so tip of the cap to Tomlin for having the right temperature of the team. And then Russell Wilson fell flat on his face. Now the Steelers are crawling back to Justin Fields saying, please, can you come back and be our quarterback? If I'm Justin Fields, I'm like, suck on these, baby. I'm not coming back. You benched my ass. And now you want me to come back to you? I'm going to go to, let's call them the Jets. I'm the starter. I'm beating out Tyrod Taylor's old ass. I'm going to be the starter on this team. Why the hell am I coming back to Pittsburgh? And let's evaluate things a little. Steelers number 1 wide receiver, malcontent diva George Pickens, or Garrett Wilson, far better player. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Garrett Wilson. All the Steelers running backs are free agents. Oh, they got nobody. Oh, the Jets have Breece Hall. Okay. Ooh, the Jets have 4 of their 5 starters on the offensive line under contract. Okay. You know, I get the Jets have this reputation as this team that sucks at developing quarterbacks, and touche, man. There's nothing I can really say there. It's a new regime taking over, so hope is spring eternal. But I think a lot of people are talking this talk about Pittsburgh, and I'm not talking about you, Josh. I'm just going on a rant here. It is totally feasible that Justin Fields simply re-signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's all she wrote. However, if he reaches the open waters and the Jets give their pitch and the Steelers give their pitch and the offers are sort of the same, I don't think it's a lock that Justin Fields just goes, yeah, Steel City, baby. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Whoop, whoop. I don't think it's that simple. I just want to put that out in the universe. Like, let's read the room a little. The Steelers told him to sit on the bench. Come on, man. Come on. I tend to agree with you, Hennessy, that I don't believe Shadur's even on the board at 7 anyway. I think the floor for Shadur is 6. The only craziness is if, I guess, the Raiders signed like Sam Darnold to like a 3-year deal for like $150 million. Maybe they don't draft Shadur, but I guess we'll see. Dakota says, Paul, Warriors Celtics finals rematch? Ooh, that'd be fun. Yeah, sign me up. I don't think the Warriors make it that far, to be honest with you, but yeah, we'll see. Matthew Smith, Sanders could fall to the second. I don't buy that. I saw that in Trevor Sikk's mock that he completely fell to the first round. I don't know about that. No. I do not buy that at all. A lot of noise right now. We'll see what happens. I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong. We'll see. Josh Packus says he's a Jets fan in Pittsburgh. I'm so sorry, Josh. God bless. We're praying for you, pal. We're praying for you. I hate the Steelers. Like they're like the Patriots. I hate. We play them twice a year, right? I hate the Patriots. The Steelers, we don't play twice a year. Obviously, they're not in the division, but they're in the conference. I hate Pittsburgh. Think about all our playoffs of 2004 and the second AFC Championship game. Like, oh God. God, I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they rub me the wrong way. There's no question about it. Just disgusting. Ruben Nunez says, where does Bosa sign? Probably 49ers. Go join his brother. They need a pass rusher. It'd be a unique opportunity to go play with his brother. You got Sala over there. That'd be my gut, you know. I mean, I'm sure a lot of contenders are looking for a hired hitman to be a pass rusher, but my gut says the 49ers, the Bosa boys reunite together. That would be my gut. Draft Geek says this wide receiving core the Jets have makes me throw up. Yeah, there's work to be done. There's work to be done. Lazard's going to get cut, and you're going to need some more guys around Garrett Wilson. There's no question. We'll see if that's in free agency. There's not a lot of great names. Hey, DK Metcalf. Huh? I don't know. But we'll see what happens. Possibly. Yeah, Myles Garrett would be fun, but that's going to be too expensive. It's going to be too expensive. Multiple ones, the highest contract in history for a defender. Oh, yeah. $25. Okay, it's like a bidding war. Oh, okay, I got 8 million, 8 million, 9 million, 9 million, 10 million, 10, 11 million. The Jamien Sherwood bidding war that's happening right now in our comment section. Somebody say, I'm a penny more than 8. I'll go 12. I'll go 10. Give me a 9er. Did I catch a 9er in there? Yes. Okay. Hey, now. Diehard Jets fans in here. That's good to know. Okay. We'll be opening up the phone lines here in just a moment. I'm just double checking some of your comments. 3rd round for Shadur Sanders. What are we talking about, people? We're totally falling off the wagon here. Draft Geek, can we just get Starks, Loveland, or Mike Green to fall to us in the 2nd round after this terrible season? I think Loveland's totally in play in the 1st round. Mike Green's totally in play in like the top 15, top 20. Starks maybe, because there's a lot of hubbub around Nick E-Man Worry right now. But Starks even seems unlikely to fall to 42. So sorry, Draft Geek. I don't know if any of those things are happening. June, the GM's giving some love to that Eagles interior defensive lineman, Milton Williams. He's intriguing, 26-year-old game record. Yeah, robbing from the Eagles Super Bowl champion train is never a bad place to go. Never a bad place to go. Beautiful. All right, let's do this, baby. We're going to open up the phone lines next here on the show. If you'd like to call in, now is the time to do so. You can feel free to tell me how much of an idiot I am for wanting Javon Holland and why it would be a terrible move. Feel free to tell me that, or share your own free agent wish list if you like, as we have the phone lines open here in just a moment. So without further ado, let's do it. First, a quick message from HEP, and up next, we'll take your phone calls right here on Boy Green Daily.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go.
There he is, Hep, baby. You love it. Phone lines are now open. That is youtube.com. Okay, I don't know if you guys could hear me there. Sorry about that. Having all kinds of technical issues over here. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here on Boy Green Daily. As Boy Green Daily continues, we have 600 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. If you'd like to call into the show, now is the time to do so. That is youtube.com/BoyGreen25. It is the pinned comment on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, we appreciate any way that you consume the show, including the audio-only version or listening after the fact. We appreciate that as well. Thanks for showing your support. But if you'd like to call into the show live here on the program, we're live every single day at 7:30. We normally go about an hour here on the program and some change. You can call in. That is youtube.com/BoyGreen25. That is the way to call into today's program, baby. And yes, salute to HEP. Salute to HEP. there as well. Yeah, I have bad Wi-Fi. My apologies. And the mute and everything else. I don't know what's going on. But let's go to the phone lines. We got Ricky New York back here on the show. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, what's happening, Paul? I'm going to address a few things. I'm not going to call you an idiot for wanting Javon Holland.
Okay.
Shador Sanders, maybe.
Okay, well, fair enough. Yeah.
However, listen, just because your dad was great doesn't make you great. Okay. Look at racing with Dale Earnhardt and then Dale Earnhardt Jr. Last year at Florida State, we had Marvin Jones Jr., and he was basically kind of like the college equivalent of Hassan Reddick.
Oof.
Maybe worse.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I think they finished with the same amount of sacks, a half of one for the year. Just because your dad was great doesn't mean you're going to be great. I mean, hell, you don't have to look any further than me to see that. Now, as far as safeties, it seems to me on one of your very first shows this year where you had Dom C, I brought up Nick Emmanwori, and
yes.
What did he say? He's a little bit stiff. He doubts his ball skills. I think Emmanwori answered everybody's questions about his athleticism.
That's for sure.
And I'm not against Holland as a player. I get weakening a division rival, but that's a lot of money for a safety. Me personally, every single mock draft that I've done so far, pick number 92 has been Andrew Makuba, the safety from Texas.
Yes.
Who's got mad ball skills, physical hitter. And I mean, if I could get similar production on a rookie deal as opposed to paying some guy, an $80 million contract, I think that's the route that I would probably go. Although I would not be surprised at all to see Tony Adams back after the comments they made, Moogie and Glenn viewing him similar to Kirby Joseph, who ended up having a real good year for the Lions. So I think we probably bring back Adams, and then we still draft a safety as well. But if we're going to spend big in free agency, I probably wouldn't do it on the safety position, even though I do like the fact they value safety more than the last regime.
Yes.
The last thing I'm going to get to is the illusion of Jamien Sherwood. Yes, he had a lot of tackles. It's easy to get a lot of tackles when every ball carrier gets to the second level. Okay.
Touche. Okay.
What have not only the educated section of the fan base, but the players and coaches always said about CJ Mosley? He is our captain. He is the leader of all our defense. And you know what? For the less educated out there, CJ Mosley as our captain, that doesn't mean he gets the little C thing on his jersey. Okay. That means he is the actual leader. He is responsible for calling out all the plays and getting people in the right position. Yeah. How did our defense do after CJ Mosley was gone last year? Were guys not in the right position?
Not exactly.
Listen, I think people need to, don't go for the shiny object, dig a little bit deeper than what's on the surface, and look at the way that our defense took a step back without their leader on the field. Okay. And I like Sherwood. Okay. He's a young player. He's fast. He's an aggressive hitter, and that's all fine. But I said it from the beginning. I want to see, an interception here or there. I want to see the forced fumbles, the fumble recovery. I want to see the impact plays, not just a bunch of tackles. And the one thing I question is he going to be able to call the plays? Is he going to be able to get guys lined up in the right spots? And you know what? That's the thing that I did not see from Jamien Sherwood last year. Okay. So, as much as I like Sherwood, I still think he certainly has. Now, could he eventually become that? Maybe. I'm not going to say that he couldn't, but is he there right now? No. And so, if you wanted to go out and get a Bolton or something, that's fine. The draft isn't particularly deep at linebacker. So, that's something to consider. But I'm going to throw out some nuggets for free agency. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Right here on this show weeks ago, I floated Tyler Lockett to be wide receiver 3.
Look at you.
Look, now here he is available. Just like I said, I don't think we'd pay the money for DK, but unless Lockett is just really intent on rejoining Pete Carroll on a really crappy Raiders team, I still think that's a good option. I would like Christian Kirk as a fit with us.
He's another guy who just hit the open market. Yep.
Yeah, and he didn't have like an ACL or like a knee dab. He had a broken collarbone, which sucks. I've had that happen. It sucks. You cough, you laugh, you fart, you do anything, you feel it. But that's not something that's going to affect his mobility. That being said, here's a name that probably nobody has mentioned yet.
Okay.
Do not be surprised if Darren Muji dips into his bag of Broncos players that he's familiar with and brings defensive tackle DJ Jones over here to fill that gap next to Quinnen. So there's my free agency sleeper for you. But you know what? That checks off one big, massive box and opens up a bunch of different venues we can go to when the draft does get here. So, those are some moves I would look for, and Javon, the tight end from New Orleans as well.
Yes, Jawan Johnson. Yes.
You know what? But yeah, I seriously think that, DJ Jones, Jawan Johnson, those are going to be guys that we're going to go after. It might not be the DK Metcalf or the big name that some Jets fans are but you know what? Going after the big names has not necessarily served us all that well in the past.
Touche.
Look what happened with Hassan Reddick. You know what? I've been saying all along, when you listen to the commentators and they say, maybe not the best athlete, but he's just always around the ball, always in the right place. He's just a football player. Those are Aaron Glenn guys. And we could probably use a few more of those guys. And you know what? Some people might be like, oh God, what is this regime doing? Because they're not doing things the way we're used to seeing them done. Well, guess what? The way we're used to seeing them done stinks. Okay. That's why it was sucked for the last decade. So, don't be negative about something different. I think they're going to build this thing the right way, and I'm looking forward to where we go. And
I can't wait. Thanks, Ricky. I appreciate the call, man. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of nuggets there for free agency to keep an eye on. We'll evaluate those. I love it. We have 600 plus people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Let's go back to the phone lines. Rob V here on the program. What's up, Rob?
Hey, what's up, Paul? How are you? Good morning.
Yeah. It's great to have you on the program, man.
Yeah, good to see you. Good morning to everybody. The reason I'm calling though in is I'm not understanding the Sherwood hate, man. I really am not.
Oh, yeah.
I get what Ricky's saying. One of his points was about how running backs were getting to the second level. Now, when you play linebacker, that's not your fault that the running backs are getting to the second level.
Of course not. He's got to clean up. That's if the D line is
he's just
being
cleaning
red
up the mess.
Exactamundo. Yeah. So I don't think he should be slided for the tackle total. Like, your defensive line sucked. Which name are you going to say? Okay, I'm sorry.
Exactly. And I think he did more than a fine job when CJ went out. Now, listen, he was obviously a converted safety. He's smaller in size compared to most linebackers, right? But what he does great is he's a good tackler. He can run sideline to sideline with the best of them. And what does Wilkes like to do? Wilkes likes to blitz. Jamien Sherwood will definitely be a good blitzer, right? And he can tackle. So I don't get the Sherwood hate at all. Now, if we're talking $12 million a year, okay, I understand. But if we could get him with I get it. You're not going to get the Quincy deal because, with the cap going up and the way he's played, it's probably going to be more between the $8 to $10 million range.
Probably. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm good with that. That's cool. You know why? Because that's one less hole that's created on our defense. We're already going to need 5 or 6 new starters on defense to begin with as of now. Why create another hole? So if it was me, I would try and sign Sherwood Monday as fast as I can before he hits the open market and teams are willing to give him that $12 million. Say, listen, fill it with incentives. Do whatever you got to do to keep him because he's a hell of a player. He really is. And you know what, Ricky? At the end of the day, it was his 4th year as a converted safety. What's to say he can't call plays? What's to say he can't be that guy? What I just don't get the Sherwood hate at all.
Especially when he wasn't even supposed to be the guy. The only reason he started this year is because Mostly got
wasn't
hurt.
even his. You're right.
Right. He got
You're
shoved out there.
100% correct.
He finished top 3 in tackles being shoved out there in the middle of the season. I'm quite frankly impressed with what he was able to do. Imagine what he could do with a full offseason knowing he's the guy. I think that'd be better.
That was my point. With a full off season, then you could draft another linebacker. So there's another linebacker that you don't have to pay in free agency. You could allocate that money somewhere else. You get what you know what I mean? And try and keep Sherwood. But if it's going to be $12-14 million, then you let him walk. But if it's going to be the 8 to 10, you got to keep him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a homegrown talent. But the point is, at the end of the day, a running back getting to the second level is not a linebacker's fault. That is 100% on the D line. And I think he did a more than good job filling in the role for CJ.
Yeah. He did a wonderful job. I appreciate the call, Rob. And I see Ricky has given an additional response since the call has continued with Rob here. And he said he's not blaming Jamien for it, but he's saying that his numbers are inflated. And I would just say again, while that can be true, you could say in a system offense, a slot receiver's numbers are inflated and it's not as good as it is. I would just say this. It's not to me, it's not for me that I want to sign Sherwood to a long-term deal because he had a lot of tackles. That's not it for me. I think it was, to be honest, a great development story. This new regime said it was important to keep good, talented players on the Jets, and that it is this thing. You draft a guy, you develop him, and the next step of that process is retaining the talent. And man, Jamien Sherwood is one of the best success stories that this organization has had in terms of draft, develop, and booyah. Look at where they are and look at where more he has to get. I hope the Jets are able to bring back or Jamien Sherwood. And according to Rich Cimini, it's a top priority for this New York Jets regime is to bring him back. Now, the money's going to get a little funky, but I mean, hey, man, it sort of goes to Rob's point. We have 1 million holes to fill in already. You're going to add another 1,000,001 holes to it because you don't re-sign Jamien Sherwood. Again, I made a pitch a couple weeks ago for Nick Bolton. I think he'd be terrific. He's 24. He's a talented kid, a championship pedigree coming over from the Chiefs. But, if you could just keep Jamien Sherwood for less money, then okay, maybe we have a conversation there. Hey, a super chat coming in from Chef Kevin Gilbert, a.k.a. Fastest Food Reviews. Warren Cesariah Luna, shout out. Wow. Good morning, Boy Green. We need to make sure re-signing Sherwood is a main option. These takes don't make any sense, especially if you watch the film. Shout out to my guy, Rob B. Great to have Rob on the show. I don't know how many times Rob has called into the show, but feel free to take advantage of that, buddy. And Chef Kevin Gilbert, this is another raffle ticket for you, my friend. I believe this is your first one of the month. So beautiful. Thank you very much. Fastest Feud Reviews, excuse me. Very nice. You have a little bit of change here on the show as well, and one raffle ticket. Let's throw that up on the big board. But I agree with you. Sherwood is a young player. It's the kind of player you want to build your team around, these success stories, because it also sends a great message to the locker room. Look at this. Look at Jamien. They drafted this guy on day 3. They developed him. He got his chance to start, and then the Jets were not afraid to pay this guy and bring him back. Hey, next player, that could be you. That could be you. It's something worth talking about, I think, for sure. Shout out to Chef Kevin Gilbert. Chef, let's go back to the phone lines here. We got the legend Hep here on the program. Good morning, Hep.
Hey, Paul, what was Mosley's contract last year?
They give him a new deal. It's a 2-year deal for $17 million, most of it guaranteed, maybe 13, 14 million guaranteed. So he had like, what's that, 8.5 average? Something like that. Yeah.
So I'm thinking if we take the majority of that contract and push it over onto the Sherwood deal, because I think he's had it. That neck injury is no joke. I mean, that thing sticks around, and I had one of those, and it just doesn't go away. It's like
my gut says retirement for CJ. I hope not, because I love CJ, the person, football player, and everything else. But my gut says retirement for CJ this offseason.
Yeah, I was always hoping he was trying to be a player coach or something. I think he would really
awesome. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, I would take. We're going to free up $8 million on CJ's contract. So give another couple of million. You think he'll go for $10 million a year?
I'm sure Jamien or his agent or both are getting the tweets of like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And they're like, oh, baby. Wait, Zach Bond just went for $17 million with the Eagles?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm sure they're drooling over all of that. I just hope, because the thing that we don't know, today's March 6th. We're 4 days away from the legal tampering period. Have the Jets been in constant communication with Jamien? Have they been holding him cold turkey? And now all of a sudden, oh, shit. Wait, Jamien, wait, before you go to free agency, that's the thing we don't know. If they've been talking to him this entire time, maybe Jamien, is more willing to work with the Jets. Zach Rosenblatt said there has been mutual interest in the two and staying together, but money talks, and it sounds like money's going to get crazy. So I'd love him back. I hope they get a chance to, bring him back.
Well, I think he'll really thrive in this Aaron Glenn defense, because this defense is going to be flying all over the place.
Speed. He's got that for
blitzing. Even if you took a short deal, Jamie, what if we just give you a 2-year deal? We'll give you $20 million on 2 years, then you could explore again on the other end.
Exactly.
He's pretty young still, right? I mean,
25. Yeah,
25. So if we get him for 2 more years. And then say, we won't block you in for this big thing, and see how you feel.
And then he gets paid again. So, there's a compelling case to be made, Hep. No question.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you on the rebound.
Appreciate you, Hep. Yeah, let me see. I'm like 1,000% sure Jamien Sherwood is 25, but let me do a discount double check. Yeah, 25. He just turned 25 January. I thought so. There is that's an interesting thing. I haven't heard that a lot about offering Jamien a shorter deal. He gets back to free agency earlier, but gets a nice bag. I'm curious if 2 for 20 would do it. It might have to be a little richer than that, maybe 2 for 25 or something to sweeten it up. And then there'd be like a 12.5 average. Maybe it's a little less. I don't know. It'll be sort of curious, but that's a good strategy to present something a little bit cheaper. Tony Alexio comments, says, re-sign Brandon Echols, our best part-time ball hawk. Again, our corner room is blowing up. So there is a case to be made. Bring Brandon Echols on the cheap, allow him and Quantez Stiggers to battle it out for that CB2 role, and then maybe draft a guy, on day 2 of the draft, or Ricky's a big Will Johnson guy, whatever, what have you. That could be another potential option. Let's go to a YouTube super chat coming in here from EJ, who's been a member for 3 months. We appreciate you, EJ.
Wow.
Sherwood may want to test the market before signing, and if I'm Jamien, I sure as hell would. Why not? You have a chance to reach untethered free agency, where you have an opportunity to see what other teams feel about you. Yeah, if I'm Sherwood, I'm 1,000% reaching the open market. Unless the Jets just gave me an offer I simply can't refuse, and I'm like, and they say, hey man, this offer's on the table, but if you go into free agency, the offer's off, and then we're going to renegotiate in a different way. Then maybe we could talk, but that's something as well as a potential. Tony Alexio says, does Sherwood give us a comp pick if we don't sign him? I've sort of explained this before. It's a complicated formula. It depends on all the Jets free agents they lose, like DJ Reed, Sherwood, everybody, and how many free agents they sign and what are the contracts involved. So it's tough to say. And even if you got a comp pick, it wouldn't come until 2026. So it's possible. Yeah, if Sherwood signs a big crazy deal with somebody, it is possible the Jets end up with a comp pick. But like I said, it's going to also pair up with what they did themselves. Let's go back to the phone lines. We got NY Jets FL here on the show. What's up, pal? Wow, nice gun show. Wow, nice. Okay, you've been working out.
Oh, I don't know. You can see my arms. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul. It's funny. I heard Ricky's call first, and I came away agreeing with him, and then I heard Rob's call, and I came away agreeing with him too. So somewhere in the middle, they're tremendous calls, by the way. Somewhere in the middle. Don't overpay for him, but you can't hold the stats against him. That's where but they were both tremendous points. My thing is now I'm seeing a little bit of smoke of the Bears trying to get Genty, and I didn't think the 7
I heard
pick,
about that. Yeah.
so especially after they signed Joe Thuney and some other
Jonah Jackson. Yeah, they made double trades. Yeah, they traded with the Rams and the Chiefs and got 2 new guards. Yeah.
Right. So how do you help Caleb Williams? You get a stud, especially with Ben Johnson coming, you get a stud running back like Genty. So I would say that 7's become a more valuable trade piece for us. And I looked at the trade, the Jamien Johnson chart, which is not exactly the Bible, but we can get a third if we slide down to Chicago, and
10?
we could possibly
nice.
Yeah, we can get a third, which would be a valuable pick, and knowing how many holes we actually have. So, I would say that's in play unless we want to plug and play an offensive lineman right away. That would be the scenario I would say. But 7's way more valuable now than a couple days ago. Put it that way.
Which I love. That's great news for us. So, yeah. Or we take Genty ourselves. Hey-oh. No, I'm just kidding. Or am I? I don't know. But, yeah, there's been a lot of buzz for Armand Membu to the Jets, which would fill their right tackle hole. There's been a lot of buzz about that coming out of the combine. But, yeah, I love it. The overall value, the 7th overall pick is up. Great. Because if we could slide back from 7 to 10 doesn't seem seismic to me in terms of you should still really get a really good player 10, and then picking up that extra third, which would be a higher third because it's Bears. Ooh, juicy. I like it.
Exactly. And I wouldn't be opposed to even going down a little bit more if we could even swing another deal. I mean, why not? I know we're not, gambling here with chips, playing blackjack or roulette, but I would be willing to go down a little bit further after that and maybe take a Ibuka or somebody.
Ooh, yeah.
Number 2 tight end from Michigan. I mean, there's ways to do this now where we can add some more pieces, knowing that, Sherwood may be gone and our safety room is weak. And like everyone basically said before, yeah, we have quite a few holes that most people think. Another thing too, real quick, Paul, is this is basically a redshirt year, right? Glenn and Moogie have to see what they have, right? See what pieces they want to get around. So you might as well just see what we have and not overinvest in it. Sorry about your thesis of signing a safety. Might as well just see what we have. We're going to have to sit back and let it play out 1 year and then, reload from there. So that's my points. All right, Paul. Got to run, though.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Ted. Yeah, I would say for captain trade back teams, right? Jets go from 7 to 10, allow Bears to come up for Genty. Jets go from 10 to 14, allow Colts to come up for Tyler Warren. And you take Emeka Ibuka. Oh, yeah, baby. Add those assets to the treasure chest and let's ride. You can sign me up for that strategy right now, Ted. You're speaking my language. Plus, think about this, right? So you're moving from 7 to 10 or 10 to 14, blee, blah, blue, all these different positions. Then you pick up some extra capital, an extra second, extra third, wherever you're going to move. And then you can combine those picks and launch back into the back end of the first round and get something spicy. Or day 1 ends, right? Day 1's the first round and day 2 is second and third round. Here's this. Huh? Now we're thinking here. Right? So move 7 to 10, 10 to 14, get a couple of extra picks. You go to end of first round, then you launch up to beginning of day 2. There you go. Come up from 42. Or you just combine those picks, add the other picks, get the third combination. You got pick 92, you get another pick, pair those picks, and then you do another deep dive, and then somebody slips into the back end of the first round, which is sort of the beginning of the second round, and booyah, you get another guy. Huh? Something there, baby. Something there. But Emeka Ibuka, that's the guy. That circle that one. And you heard AG talking about those Ohio State receivers, huh? Jamison Williams, aye. Garrett Wilson, aye. You talk about those former Ohio State guys, could make a lot of gosh darn sense. All right, everybody. Thank you to the 700 people that are in the room. I appreciate you so much. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. We're coming back, baby. We'll be back at 3 o'clock. Great call. Shout out to Rob V and Ricky and Ted and all you guys. That was a lot of fun. Hep, of course, as well. Thanks, everybody, for calling in. That was a fun show. We got another show coming up at 3 o'clock. Myself, James Goody, a ton of free agents have just littered the market. Christian Kirk, Bosa, Tyler Lockett, this guy. And who should the Jets chase? Yay or nay? We'll be playing that game at 3 o'clock. So we'll see you guys then right here on Boy Green's YouTube channel. Again, make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe. Help spread the gospel. Let's get this Jets show in front of as many people as possible. We love doing it here on the program. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you next time here on the channel.